It's HighTechDad, and we're looking at a new model from Infiniti. This is the 2013 Infiniti JX35. This is an all-wheel drive, and this version actually is all tricked out with all the options, all the tech, and we're gonna actually spend a lot more time looking at the tech here. But just a little bit more information about the engine and the car itself. It seats 7. There is a third row seat in here, so you got 2 in the front, 3 in the middle, and then 2 in the back. The engine is a 265 horsepower V6, and like I said, it's an all-wheel drive, so it's ready to go up in the mountains, into the snow, and really get around. Gets about 20 miles to the gallon is about what I averaged. It's rated between 20 and 23 miles to the gallon. It's got pretty good pulling, towing capacity, and it's a pretty solid car, but most importantly, it's filled with tech. So let's take a look at all the tech inside. So actually, before we go inside, I want to point out there are like some other cameras and part of some of the packages. There are some cameras that are built into the outside. There's one underneath the side mirror. There's one actually in the front here, right underneath the logo. There's one in the back. Also, a nice feature that it has at nighttime, as you approach the car, it illuminates the sides so you can see, and it also turns on the lights inside. So it's got an automatic lift gate, and here you can see the rear row is up. You can actually really easily fold it down, split seat, so that you have lots of capacity here. You can do this one-handed, and you can see the seats lay flat. You can do this also with the middle row as well, so you can really tow a lot, or put a lot of stuff into the back. So you would think getting into the rear seat might be a little bit of a challenge, but it actually is engineered pretty well. So you simply flip up the rear seat here, and you can see it folds up and slides completely out of the way, so you actually have a lot of egress here to get in and sit in the back. You can also see that you can individually control how far back the middle row seats go, so if you need extra legroom, you have it. So as I mentioned earlier, the JX35 has a ton of tech, and this particular model has all of the packages in here. The retail price on this is $41,000, but there are a bunch of extra packages that we have in this fully loaded JX35. So this has the technology package, has a theater package, so there's the ability to play DVDs when you're parked through the large 8-inch touchscreen here, but there are also video screens in the back of the headrest here. So other packages that it has is the deluxe touring package and the premium package, and I really recommend, if you can do it, get all these packages, because this is probably one of the most technologically loaded cars that I've dealt with and reviewed in the past. So for starters, you can see this is the speedometer, tachometer, and you can see there are actually a bunch of different screens that you can control by simply tapping this button here. You can see it shows the tire pressure, shows gas mileage. We've been averaging about 19.5, maybe 20 miles to the gallon. It's got messages, warnings. You can configure different settings. It shows the car as well, and then it shows some of the safety alerts and safety sensors that you have. So it's got the front collision warning, the FCW. It's got the lane detection warning, that's the LDW. So if you drift out of a lane on the highway, it'll warn you. It's also got a blind spot indicator. I really recommend at least getting, if you can, the blind spot indicator, which will light up these lights right here. And that's really good, because actually the rear view mirror, you can't see too much through here, and while you do have pretty big side mirrors, there are quite a few blind spots in the JX35. So it's also got a really great camera system like I was talking about. So if I push the camera button, it gives you a 360 degree view of your surroundings. So this is really great when you're parking. It's a little hard to see at nighttime, especially on the side cameras, because there's no side illumination. But what's really great is if you're in a parking spot and you're backing out and you can't see the cross traffic, it's going to detect any traffic that's coming. This actually happened to me today, and I was backing out and a car came in from the other side, and my accelerator pedal seemed to vibrate, and actually the car put on the brakes and warned me that there was a car coming in. So this is a really great feature to have. So the JX35 comes with a variety of drive modes. So there's sport, there's standard, there's eco mode, and eco mode's kind of interesting because it actually seems to put a dampener on the accelerator, so you don't push down as hard on the accelerator, and because when you accelerate, that consumes the most gas. So that's an interesting mode. And then there's snow mode if you really have to drive slowly. You can also see here the front seats are both heated and cooled, which is a great addition. Here you can see easy controls for the sound system. Obviously it's got XM. You can put in CDs, DVDs. You can attach an iPhone or an iPod or some sort of a mobile device to read your data that way. The controls on the main information screen, obviously it's touch screen, but also you can get at all of your information pretty easily right through this center console. It also has adaptive cruise control that's radar controlled, so you can set the padding regarding the car in front of you, so the car will notice how far ahead the car is in front of you, and it'll try to maintain that distance that you define and the speed that you define automatically. It's actually really nice, really convenient. Obviously you can connect your smartphone, and you can also do a variety of voice controls, voice commands. So you just push the button here.
Would you like to access phone, navigation, information, audio, or help? You can push the talk switch to stop voice prompts and give a command.
Information.
Information. Please say
fuel economy.
Showing fuel economy. Please use manual controls to continue.
So here you can see I use voice commands to show my fuel economy, and this is since I've been driving. It's about 20.6 miles to the gallon. When you have this much tech in the car, obviously there's a lot of controls now that suddenly appear on your steering wheel. But after a while, your hand begins to recognize that, oh, this is the volume, and this is how I can change my source, and this is how I answer and hang up the phone and control the front stuff. But it does take a little bit of time to learn it, as well as learning the other items here. But overall, I really enjoyed the Infiniti JX35. This is a new year for it. Like I said, this is the 2013, and I expect that there'll be some nice refinements and upgrades in the coming years. My kids really enjoyed this car. There's lots of room in the back for them and their friends to sit, and really enjoyed it. So if you want to read more about the Infiniti JX35 or other cars, you can visit my website, and that's at www.HighTechDad.com. You can ask me questions on Twitter, and I'm at HighTechDad, or head over to my Facebook page, and that's at facebook.com/HTD blog.